Hey, good morning. This is Harry from Hazspurtv back with another match reaction for Spurs game against Burnley, where they did win 2-1 to finally end this win drought of 4 games. Obviously, we didn't make it 5 because we did beat Burnley, thankfully. And I'm here to talk about the game, analyse the substitutions and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. So Burnley did actually take a lead first in the game, and for the first half, it did seem like Spurs might actually step up at home to Burnley, surprisingly. And obviously, Burnley, as you guys might know, had to win to have any chance of staying up. By this point, I'm recording this video, they've already gone down, of course, along with Luton, because Forest only need a point against Chelsea to confirm they're staying up. But going to the game, Burnley, it was arguably their cup final, or basically they had to win the game to have any chance of staying up. So you would argue they had extra incentive and that sort of thing. But anyway, Spurs started with Kulusevski on the left and Johnson on the right, and Son up top, which was an interesting change because obviously seeing the lineup, he's mostly played Johnson on the left and Kulusevski on the right when they've both been on the field together on either wing. The midfield consists of Maddison, Bissouma and Sarr, which has kind of been that way since game week 1, really. Ange went back to his, I guess, not tried and tested midfield three, but the three that gave him the most success, some may argue. And the back line, Skip continued at left back, following on from last week's loss away to Liverpool at 4-2. And he started at left back. Okay, Mickey, Romero, and obviously Porro, and obviously Vicario in goal. So I don't really know much about the Burnley players, so I'm going to talk much about their lineup. But the first half hour, it didn't seem like it was working. Burnley actually had a few chances. Of course, like I mentioned, they did score an early goal. And then Spurs had equalised through really a moment of brilliance from Porro, who, again, he himself had wasted chances. Johnson had wasted chances overall in the game. He missed an absolute sitter in the second half. But at 1-1, Burnley was still in the game, and the second half started. Again, Burnley was still in the game, but he did give them a rollicking, I assume, at half-time, because Kulusevski switched wings and went back to the right, and Johnson went back to the left, which arguably was quite ineffective. And it was still 1-1, still 1-1, still 1-1. And eventually, Ange decided to make some substitutions. He made a triple sub. Scarlett came on. It was Dane Scarlett. I'm missing right. Bentancur, who made a massive difference actually. And yeah, and it was Scarlett, Bentancur. I can't remember the last one now. It's come in my head. But yeah, so he made the substitution, the triple sub, which pushed Son onto the left, Scarlett into the middle. Surprisingly, he got given a chance, and Johnson onto the right. And then Bentancur went into the midfield. Skip obviously came off, and Van de Ven actually switched onto the left. And yeah, I think Bissouma was in the midfield. But anyways, Van de Ven ended up scoring the winner for Spurs. And some may argue that, like myself, we've been calling for Van de Ven to play left back pretty much since Udogie's been injured. Van de Ven actually does play left back for Holland. I actually did watch him a few times in the qualifiers playing there. And also he has had previous experience of that in his former club. So it begs the question. He tried Emerson, it didn't work. I'm talking about Udogie's injury, after Udogie's injury. Obviously Davies went in there because it was like people might argue the obvious, like, what's the word? The guy, the backup, whatever you want to call it. Davies came in initially, and then obviously Emerson came in when Davies came injured. And then Skip came in, but it's almost like he got to the point when he finally went, what's the word? He kind of gave in. I felt like putting Van de Ven at left back because I know he didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like he wanted to do it. And the fullbacks did invert still. Like Van de Ven obviously wouldn't have scored his goal if he wasn't inverted. I'm just being pretty honest, I don't think it would have happened. And he took it really well, like his earlier goal in the season. Dragusin came on at centre half, actually did all right. Son moving to left, let's also take into consideration Burnley's quality here. He did look good on the left in the last half hour, and I thought Scarlett, he didn't really have many chances. There was one, not half chance, sort of that Johnson almost crossed it, was blocked off, and I think Scarlett was just waiting there to just tap it in. I actually really wanted him to score when he came on because it would have been quite nice. But at 2-1, it was all Tottenham. I thought Bentancur made a big difference when he came on in midfield. And as you guys might notice, Bentancur is a very vocal player. And he's probably one of my shouts for being a captain, actually, of the club, along with Van der Ven, who was actually fans player of the season, I think Spurs said. Now, I didn't stay for lap of honour, so I can't give any extra details about that. But in terms of the game, it felt like we laboured over the line. Okay, kind of contradicts what I said earlier about us being dominated after 2-1, but to playing a team like Burnley, who we beat 5-2 early in the season, actually, at their ground, and completely dominated them, it felt like a real struggle today, like a real struggle. And it's obvious at the front line. I know some people might disagree with me, but we need a whole new front line. Even a striker, which, as I alluded to earlier, Son really struggled, especially. He just didn't have it. He couldn't play up front on his own, which is ironic because a lot of people have been calling for him to play there. And then they tell him to play on the left, which he did a little bit better on the left today, but he was playing against a really poor right back for Burnley. And so you look at the quality as well. And Johnson was being very wasteful, but they will definitely keep him for another year. I think Kulusevski, for me, I'm done with him. I don't think he's going to succeed in this system. I don't think he's going to succeed at Spurs. I've actually, ironically, been linked to Napoli. And as I'm trying to push this agenda, let's try and get Kalashvili, the Georgian winger, and swap him for Kulusevski. Let's go do that. Because for Napoli interested, let's be creative, right? That's the whole point, right? But Kulusevski, I don't think he has a future here. No, after this game, I just don't see it. And yeah, Van der Ven probably could give him man of the match here again. It just seems to carry us. It makes you think where would be without Mickey Van der Ven, because he's added goals in the second half of the season. Actually, it quite helped us actually win games where I didn't think we deserved to win. And obviously, he's been the guy that's literally coming for everyone when everyone goes forward. But yeah, I guess we go on. So we've got obviously City on Tuesday. Probably one of the games I don't actually want us to win because I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I'd rather actually lost that game. And obviously, if Villa win on Monday night, it confirms 4th spot. So if Villa, as I expect them to do, beat Liverpool, I think that's it for us, basically. So I think we'll probably lose to City, which I think my Spurs fan actually wants that. And I think the fact there was a lap of honour today kind of indicates that they probably will roll over to City. I mean, even if we tried, I think City will still beat us. So, yeah, take that as you will. Because under no circumstances can Arsenal win this title. I'm sorry. I just don't want it to happen. So, yeah, come on, you Spurs, and here we go again.